Here we go. Let's just pop this bad boy on. Look at that, you guys can see me. Hey YouTubers, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. We have a lot to get through and I'm going to do a very quick, short update today because we have CPI data that is coming out and being released in the next few hours. And I think the markets have really priced in inflation over these last few weeks. And I think that we have now seen a turnaround in the state of inflation in the markets, and the capital gains tax that was proposed by President Biden to be announced at 28% may not be as high as expectations, as the money that is currently being flooded into the market due to the personal payment program that came into the US over the last quarter is not going to be as much as we had recently seen. And with that labor shortage and all of the other effects happening right now, there is not as much money that is going to push that price of inflation, particularly to pass that 5% mark. I could be completely wrong and we may see a turnaround above 5% and a huge shock, and the markets could have a sell-off later, but it does appear that the 4.8% is in fact on target, and the markets are factoring that in right now, which is why we are not seeing major red days, especially in growth tech and innovation plays. And that is why we have now seen a lot of those plays push back up, and that bond yield has come back down in price to about 1.42% from, of course, those highs of 1.6 to 1.8, where we were seeing a lot of fear mongering in the markets due to the high 10-year bond treasury yields and, of course, inflation. Now, I did have a question in my Discord: is it a good time to enter a lot of these electrical vehicle stocks? Now guys, it all depends on your thesis when you are entering a stock. If you are using technical or fundamental analysis, whether you are going through the balance sheets and you are holding for a short or long term. But when a stock has pushed up significantly from, of course, a buy the dip opportunity, in my eyes, it is not something that you are wanting to get in unless, of course, you are trying to hold a lot of these stocks for the very long term in your portfolio. Recently, we have seen NIO push up, and we have seen Byddy, a stock that I have been mentioning recently on my channel quite significantly, and we have been having some questions. So I just wanted to put those concerns out for you guys and get you guys in the habit of using that RSI indicator. And once it does reach on a 4-hour timeline, the RSI above 70, you are going to want to avoid those stocks, because we are probably going to see some kind of turnaround in the markets technically, and those technicals will line back up, guys, and we will have some form of a dip, whether that be a few percent, 10 or 15 or even 20%. That is going to be your chance to then load the boats. Don't chase those stocks on those green days unless you know that those price targets have been raised significantly higher. The stock is very undervalued for its current share price, and there are major catalysts coming up that is going to allow that share price to continue to move higher over the next few weeks, months and quarters when you are buying into a stock. That way you are not going to be left bag holding with a high risk stock inside your portfolio where the share price is very high and you are buying in near all-time highs, and that way you're going to have a lower risk in your portfolio. But look for those days when you are going to dollar cost average in, as I always say, to get those on the buy the dip days. Try to chase those red days and not those green days again. And if you're allocating your position over the course of several months where you are buying 10 or 15% of that allocation into a particular stock over the period of 1 or 2 months, then again you are going to be looking to buy in on those red days rather than those green days, because that way you are going to have a lower risk in the long term and you are going to have more profitability inside your portfolio. So recently we have seen a lot of those stocks, like I said, push up, and there is never any harm. People ask me, when should I take profits? There's never any harm, guys, in taking profits if you are comfortable and happy with seeing, you know, even 10, 15 or 25% gain on your account. Most hedge fund managers, guys, in Wall Street cannot even get more than 10% every single year on their investments as a return, and the typical average, as we talk about on this channel, for the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in the US index, is around 8 to 10% per year. This last year has been higher due to the fact that we have had so much money flooding into the economies around the world and especially around the US, with of course that infrastructure plan and all of those payments rushing into the markets. So we have seen a significant increase in the S&P 500, which has now outweighed the average from the previous year's return. So that is something that you want to look for. If you are comfortable, then put your stop loss to break even, so that if the stock comes back down into red, it will sell out your position. And again, if it does continue to drop down, you can then average back in or buy back in at a lower price, again lowering your risk for the long term. That is a technique that I have learned over the last year that has served me extremely well with some of the stocks inside my portfolio. Now, some stocks I don't actually have a stop loss on, and I simply just buy and hold, and if they go in the red, I just average down. It all depends again on where your mindset is when you're buying into a stock and how long you are trying to hold those stocks for. Now, you guys had voted that you wanted to see an update on ALPP, and unfortunately I have to rush off to work very shortly, so I won't be able to do an update on that play for you guys today, but I am promising you that I will get a full update out on ALPP very soon, as well as NNDM, because that is another channel favorite that we haven't covered in a few weeks properly, and I do want to make sure that we are fully aware of what is going on with both those stocks, and we are going to look through some of those financials as well, so we can have a clearer background as to where those companies are going and where we can start to scale them up profitably, so that we can have and hold them in our long-term portfolio comfortably. So guys, have a fantastic day. It is great to come on camera and see you guys. Let's wish everyone good luck today for that CPI release, so hopefully we can see some more green, and if we don't, then again it's just going to be another factor to in fact get your best stocks on sale when we do have any dippage in some of our favorite long-term plays. So guys, have fun and have a great weekend, and I look forward to seeing you back on my channel soon for some more content on investing. Ciao.